All right, y'all. We're gonna get started here in just a second. I need to activate Instagram. So just to let you guys know that we are on several different platforms. One being Facebook, one being YouTube, and then the other being Instagram. So you can catch us on any of those platforms. Make sure you tap in. Let your people know that we are live on the air. We're down here at the new studio and getting stuff together, y'all. Everything is coming along real well. So I definitely want to thank everybody for the support that I got so far and then the support that I'm going to get. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get it started, y'all. Let your people know. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for tapping in. My name is Johnny, and this is the Johnny Show. We are live down here at the new studio. And like I said, y'all, everything is going real good. Just breaking stuff in and feeling real good to be in our studio doing what we love to do, and that's run my big mouth. No, I'm just kidding. I always wanted to say that Tupac said that. He said, "What did you get? What do you get in trouble for?" And he said, "Running my big mouth." So that's what we're doing essentially is running my mouth, but learning at the same time and helping people to either learn or to understand some of the things that we've been talking about here. So definitely appreciate y'all for tapping in, and we got some really interesting topic to talk. We have a really interesting topic to talk about today. But before we go into that, how many of y'all watched the eclipse? That was it went by kind of quick. I don't know, it went by kind of quick here in Peoria. I think in Texas it got real dark. And they even said what I heard on the news is like crickets and things like that supposed to come out and be doing their thing and be cricket and be all loud and stuff. But we didn't experience that for whatever reason. It came and kind of went. And I don't know if I could say I was disappointed, but I didn't catch what I wanted to catch. Unfortunately, I was hoping to get some really good footage, but I didn't get what I wanted to get. So that was kind of a bummer. But it's a once in a lifetime thing. It gave me a chance to kind of see um, nature at its finest. So I won't complain. In fact, the next one is going to come in 45. So I don't even know if I'll be here. I got to add up how long that's going to be. And you know what I'm saying? How old I'm going to be because, I don't know if I'm going to be here in 45. What are we at? 24? Yeah, that's almost 20. That's 20 years ago. Well, yeah, I might be here. Yeah, I'll probably be here. You know what I'm saying? Doing my thing. Definitely taking vitamins and trying to eat good and live good and all that stuff like that. But one thing I could say that I was really disappointed in iPhones and then the quality that it captured. Now I know iPhone is probably going to say that you need a filter, but Androids they need no filter. That's the one thing about iPhones. iPhones always try to get you to buy something extra, something you don't even really need, something you don't know you need until you need it. And then you're like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to get one of those. But I bet you that's what they're gonna say is like, yeah, you could have seen it better if you had some type of filter or something on it. So we wasn't able to see most iPhone users. People are sending me pictures though, and I mean, some look okay. Jennifer Roche, hers looked okay. I don't know if it was from iPhone. I believe it was, but hers looked okay. Somebody else sent me an iPhone. It looked okay, but it didn't look like the Androids. The Androids, like you was right there. So shout out to Android. They did their thing, and I can't knock them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to become an Android user by any means. stretch of the imagination. Because I do a lot of photography with iPhones. iPhones get a lot of respect, just for what it is. I pull up with my iPhone and people respect that. So I'm not gonna make waves in the water, so to speak. So I'm gonna stick with my Apple phone for now. Okay, so if something changes, and plus I got a lease on it. Like I don't know, like Android phones, I think you can pay that off within a couple of months. Apple phones, we're gonna be paying on that like a car. So I got a lot of time left on my Apple phone, and hopefully it stands up. Matter of fact, I think in a year or so I'm gonna break it. When the new one comes out, I might break it so I get an upgrade. But this is my Apple phone. Let me see, I got an accessory on it because I'm reading some memory, some video I took. So I'm gonna be using that a little bit later on. So anyway, let's get into the topic, y'all, that what we're gonna talk about today. And as you guys know, I did some live videos or some videos down there at the South End of Peoria, and they get a lot of views and things like that on TikTok and also Facebook and Facebook Reels and stuff like that. So big ups to that. People tapping in. I want to do a lot more of those type of videos. But while I was down there, is one thing that I noticed, and I think I got this from two. Well, really everybody. Everybody was kind of like watching their back. And I haven't been on the South End for a little while. I'll say I try to get down there, but I work a lot. I mean, just like hanging out down there. I might drive through or something like that to get to the studio, but I never really have a time to just hang out down the South End. I grew up on the South End of Peoria, but I will tell you that it feels different right now. And I'm gonna say this: the reason why it feels different right now is because there was just a shooting there recently. I guess a young man got shot down there on the South End. So obviously, when this happens, there is a lot of tense moments on the South End. People kind of shook up and things like that. We ran into some young men who were, just kind of hanging out, walking to the store. Like I used to walk to the store when I was younger. But one thing they was like really kind of nervous about, they always talked about like the ops. The ops was outside. The ops was somewhere the ops was there and could pop out any moment. And that just felt strange, you know what I'm saying? To where you can be. I mean, think about that. A lot of us who don't live on the South End, we live somewhere else, out in the Vent or Richwoods area or Dunlap area. We don't have to go through that every single day, or even like in the central area. I know like the East Bluffs have its problems too. So maybe in East Bluffs you feel that way sometimes too, but you're able to go outside, or your kids able to go outside and not have to worry about seeing someone get shot. You don't get that luxury on the South End of Peoria. You feel like at any given moment, you could see somebody get shot in some type of violence. And that's hard and stressful for an adult as is. But imagine how stressful it would be for a kid. Imagine that. And that's what these kids are having to go through. They are really, it could be like a post-traumatic syndrome type thing that they're dealing with right now because of somebody that they know or knew of who got shot and killed. So now it's like, I don't know if the ops or whoever the ops would be, the ops term is opposition. Whoever the ops is going to be, if they're going to come out and just attack me in my life. And a lot of these crimes go unsolved for a long time. I mean, eventually some of them get solved, but some of them don't be solved for a long time. I don't, maybe because it's fear that nobody's saying anything or what have you, and we won't get into all that, but a lot of these crimes go unsolved. So when that happens, they could just be killers out there just living amongst us, hanging out with us. Some people try to run and go to bigger cities and things like that to hide out and things, stuff like that. But some people could be right here in the cities, like living right next to you. And that's something that I did experience when I was growing up. We had people who we suspected killed people just living amongst us. When you get money and you move outside of the hood and things like that, those are issues that you don't have to worry about at all. You don't have to worry about you living, not that you know of, that you live in, you get that relief, sense of relief. It's a good neighborhood. Or my neighbors are good. We help each other out type situation. You know what I'm saying? But if you're living in the South End of Peoria, you may not get that feeling because you never know who's going to be living next to you. And I think that's a very, very strange situation for anybody to have to live with, especially kids. And that's the biggest thing that we're talking about today. I know it might be hard for adults to have to deal with, but we're talking about kids. You know, imagine what they're going through when they think should be having to play. And it felt like a Chicago. I go to Chicago somewhat, and the tension, it felt like Chicago. Like you just never know when some shit is going to go down. And us living in a little small city like Peoria, it should not feel like that. Now, just recently, some stuff went down in Galesburg, and I'm still trying to figure out what it was. Matter of fact, I'm gonna call my cousin to see what that's going on in Galesburg. But we're gonna check out and see what on in Galesburg, because Galesburg is like a smaller Peoria. Peoria is like a small Chicago. Galesburg is like a smaller Peoria. But here's the thing that really sticks out, like, and then when I went up there to Galesburg, I had did a party, and it was like it wasn't a club. Like, we have our three big clubs down here. We got the Elks, and we had LA's. But up there, you may not even have those a club, so to speak. So you have like someone who was she had a catering business, and they turned that basically into a club. The security guards, the security was people that they knew, not really trained, but just guys they knew, handling security. That was their security. So anything could go down, to be honest with you. And the best they could do is call the cops, which when I was up there, a fight broke out, and that's what, happened. The cops were called, but anything could go down in these clubs or parties, so to speak, in that small city. Because it's not really big security like it is like here in Peoria, you know. But my point is when you get small cities like that, it's just not a whole lot to do, but kick it and party and go out and get drunk. When it's not a whole lot of stuff to do, people normally, especially young people, resort to getting drunk, getting high, popping pills and shit like that to pass time and to make it hyper, to make their night, the best night possible, a turn up. We have to compare to big cities, and you see videos and rap videos and people popping bottles and kicking it. And, within that 3-minute video, they make it seem like, it was the time of their life. So people, especially young people, try to duplicate that. We finna kick it, man. We finna have the time of our life and turn up. It's just gonna be just an amazing night. You know what I'm saying? So in order to do that, you have to enhance your pleasure, so to speak. You have to enhance your experience. And you're gonna do that with what? Alcohol, drugs, pills. The only thing with that is some people can't control those things. Some people are fine. You know what I'm saying? We used to do a lot of that stuff and we was fine. We kicked it. You know what I'm saying? But everybody's is not wired the same. Or some people, like popping pills. You throw one back is what they call it. But then some people who throw through 2 or 3 back. You know what I'm saying? And they're not in the right mind. So that may cause them not to think rationally. You know what I'm saying? And so then you have incidents like that happen, and people get shot and people get killed and hurt. And it seems like it's getting younger and younger and younger and younger as far as the teens are going. It's getting younger and younger and younger. So the violence is getting younger because younger kids are the ones experimenting with that, and their mind is not all the way developed. So they're making choices. They haven't had a whole lot of experience to know, oh, if I do this, I'm going to go get locked up for 12, 15, 20 years. They don't have those experiences. So they're willing to take chances and things like that. A lot of kids who are not 21 don't feel like they're going to make it to 21. So they're actually living for it. They're living for the day. They're living for today. The problem is we're putting our kids, our younger kids, in situations to where they feel like they are in danger. And that's the problem. That's the problem that I have, is that we are putting our kids in situations where they feel like they're in danger. Not from the cops necessarily, but the cops could be one of them, but from our own people. They feel like they can get shot at any moment. And like I said, imagine growing up like that. That has to be rough. I ran into two young men who didn't seem thuggish, seemed like respect. They was respectful as hell to me. I don't know if they cussed or nothing. I don't remember looking at them like, man, y'all need to watch your mouth. I don't remember them cussing. None of it was funny, but they, you could tell they, in the back of their mind, they were in fear. Like, we here, we walking around, we here, and they got the interview. They even ran, like, made a little joke about like the ops and just started running in the store. It was funny, but that's kind of their reality. Like, they practice that. If something go down, we running, we getting up out of here. I go to nicer neighborhoods and sell to people, and they don't have to live like that. The kids outside playing basketball, brand new basketball hoops, brand new pools, in-ground pools, above ground pools, big yards. That's not in their mental. They don't have to think about that. Meanwhile, these black kids in the neighborhood who's going to get some chips or going to get some candy, that's on their mind. Is, what if I don't make it home? What if somebody comes shooting? This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna run. This is their reality. And that's sad, y'all. We are not looking at that right in the right way, I think. I mean, I was young. I live in the South End. That always kind of, you know, plagued my mind, but I don't think it like it is today because you got so much of it going on and nobody's doing anything about it. We had programs when I was growing up, Proctor Center and all of those. We don't have a lot of those programs in place anymore to where kids have somewhere to go and have somewhere just to, do something else other than just be in the streets or on video games or just hanging out. We had talent shows where you was going to practice all month to get ready for a talent show. What do they have to look forward to? Summer's coming up. Summer's right around the corner. And I just want to know, do we have programs in place for these kids to do something? Basketball programs, football programs. Do we have something, talent shows? Do we have something in place to keep these kids' minds occupied? Because if not, we are going to be in trouble. They're going around here stealing cars and shit like that. And that's affecting adults. We can't, as adults, turn our back, because if we turn our back, eventually it's going to come knocking on our front door. They're going to be taking your car. They're going to be robbing you. They're going to be harming your family members. And that's my fear. Because these kids got to get out of control. Then you don't know who they're gonna rob or kill or shoot. You don't know that. I remember years back, a lady and her daughter got shot at the ATM machine and killed. Just getting some money out the ATM machine. So don't tell me it can't happen. And now on top of that, we're taking away all of the good food away from those areas to where they got to result from, if any, a meal is going to be frozen food from the Arabs. Like, how are your brain going to develop, and you're getting just a lot of processed food? You know what I'm saying? So you mixing all of that into the pot. That's not a good situation. Nobody seems to care. But guess what? It's going to happen. It's happening. We're going to enter into a summer of chaos, basically. Ain't no stores, ain't no grocery stores where they can go get some food and some nourishment. Ain't none of that. It's all Arab stores, processed food. We can get into all that. So you're looking at diabetes being in 10 years, diabetes is probably going to be, I mean, it's already high. But imagine what it's going to be like now that you're not giving them fresh food. Imagine that. Yeah, you're giving them a link card, but they link card going what? To the Arab store for donuts and chips and candy and hot shit. Imagine what their brains is going to do to their bodies developing. It's almost like it was planned. And we sitting here letting that shit happen. We not saying nothing. And the people who are saying something, who are saying, hold on, y'all, pay attention. Nobody is paying attention. Nobody cares. Shit is finna hit the fan. Slowly but surely, shit is finna hit the fan. And nobody's care. Nobody's saying nothing about it. Mark my words, if we do not immediately get some type of food program in place to where we having grocery stores and fresh foods, in about 3, 4, 5 years, we gonna have medical issues out the wazoo. You already see people dropping like, and I did a podcast like this. People are gonna start dropping like flies. I said that. There is reasoning behind me saying that. We don't have the fresh foods our grandparents grew up with. That generation ended with me. With my generation, that generation ended. And half of my nutrition was, I started off with fresh foods because I started in the, you know what I'm saying, back when I, you know what I'm saying, grew up. I'm gonna put my age out there. I started with fresh foods. Halfway through my generation came fast food, came TV dinners. That's what people grew up on, is processed food. And if you're not taking vitamins and supplements and shit like that, shit is going to start dropping. Shit is going to start stopping in your body because your body can't take that no more. It can't. If you're not detoxing, if you're not getting that shit out your body, it's going to be a point to where your body like, I can't process. I can't do this shit no more. I'm shutting everything down. It's too much. And on top of that, you putting more in it. You putting more. Okay, we finna go. Man, look, motherfuckers finna start doing barbecues. Guess who finna attend barbecues? People my age. People 40, 45, 50. You think your body you think your body ready for more barbecue? And meat like that? At your age? Bruh. You gotta think. You gotta think. Someone told me, really, when you hit 45, 50, and I'm gonna go as far as say 40, you really shouldn't be eating any more red meat. Your shit should be fish and maybe chicken. Depending on how chicken is made. Fried chicken shouldn't even be in the menu. And y'all finna do fried chicken wings. I know a person who in Peoria, and I'm not gonna say which wing place it was, but ate wings and moments later had a heart attack. That's how serious it is. Young, I mean, he was young in my, you know what I'm saying? In my eyes, pretty healthy. Went and got some wings from a wing place, and then there had a heart attack. The way they make the wings, your body ain't finna just be on that all the time. Your body can't deal with that shit no more. Your shit, your heart has been beaten for years, 40 years. Your heart has been beaten, pumping blood through. Your organs. You think that shit finna stand up, and then especially the way this meat is, as much shit is put in this meat, you think your body is finna deal with that shit? Your shit gonna shut down. That's how I know that people are not going to make it. People gonna start dropping like flies. You're not exercising. You're not taking supplements. You're not taking vitamins. So a lot of these people ain't looking right. I go to the club because I take pictures in the club. I see a lot of men with beer guts, big. Like, yo, how long do you think your body is going to take that? And we're going off into something else, a totally different topic. But I just want to just pinpoint on some of the issues that we overlooking. And our kids is one of them. To have them growing up in an atmosphere to where they are just fear of their life. And we're not doing anything about it. We're not talking about it, speaking on it, helping, contributing. We're not doing nothing about it. We're turning the other way. And eventually we're going to turn around. And it's going to be right there in front of us. And we're going to have to deal with it. Somebody going to be knocking you up the side of the head, robbing you. It's in the paper. It's in the paper right now. All the time. It's in the paper. These kids calling people from Bloomington to try to rob them. It's in the paper all the time. People walking and getting stuck up. It's in the paper all the time. So don't think that you're going to be able to walk away from it and just ignore it. You're not. It's coming. It's here. So I'm going to end with that. And if you got any questions, you got any comments, you can leave it in the comment section. And just let me know y'all thoughts. And let me know how you feel about what I'm talking about. Do you think I'm on the right path? Do you think I'm going somewhere with this? Or do you think I'm just totally off track? Let me know. Either or, it's something that we need to talk about. So with that being said, like I said, we're on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. You can catch us on any of those platforms, and also TikTok. Shout out to TikTok and all of those platforms. Shout out to all of y'all because they're helping me push this word and getting it out there. Even with this podcast and talking about it is a form of helping to get the message out there, because if I don't talk about it, nobody else is going to talk about it. Nobody. We want salacious shit on Facebook. We want to girl shaking ass. Okay, that's nice to look at. I look at it. But y'all, we cannot ignore our social issues. So I'm going to say it, leave y'all with that. And we're going to get out of here. Thank y'all for watching. My name is Johnny, and this is the Johnny Show. We out. Peace.